Hi, I'm Kare Possick, and I am fighting mad. Why? They're poisoning our children. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. I can't keep quiet about this. Do you know that the United States ranks 49th in average life expectancy in the world? Do you know that 75% of Americans have chronic disease? And only 50 years ago, it was 1%. 74% of all Americans are overweight, 50% of our children are overweight, 50% of Americans are diabetic or pre-diabetic, and 1 out of every 3 children are diabetic or pre-diabetic. What is happening? Where is all this coming from? Do you know that the same scientists that sold us the lie that tobacco was safe or even healthy? I mean, they never mentioned how addictive it was. Do you think they knew? Do you think that was part of their plan to sell more? Well, those same scientists are now working for the food industry. Do you think they might be adding addictive, toxic chemicals so that we can just eat and eat and eat and eat and then go buy more? It's certainly not about our health or our children's health. It's about their bottom line. I used to actually believe that all of our products had been tested for safety. Don't we have agencies that are supposed to do that? Do you have any idea how many thousands of chemicals are allowed in our food and our products that have never been tested? And how many of these chemicals are there to reduce their costs at the expense of our family's health? Look at some simple examples like food dyes, which are actually banned in Europe and many other countries, not ours. Yellow dye, petroleum product, which is associated with depression, autoimmune disease, and ADHD. Who do you know that has that? Red dye is another petroleum product. It shouldn't be in our body. It's associated with hyperactivity in children and increased cancer risk. They're in our children's cereals and candies and practically every product that we put in our bodies or put on our skin. And those are only 2 of thousands. Chemicals, preservatives, toxic fillers. It's in everything that doesn't come straight from God's garden. I've been aware of this for a very long time. Way back in 1991, I wrote a book called Why Are You Poisoning Your Family? Exposing the toxins in foods, supplements, skincare, household products. It was a 1 million copy bestseller translated into several languages. I thought it could make a real difference when people knew what was happening. But back in 1991, 1 in 1,000 children had autism. 10 years ago, it was 1 in 100. Now it's 1 in 36, and they're estimating that by 2030, it'll be 1 in 5. Today, 18% of our teens have fatty livers. That was never even existent before. Cancer rates in young Americans are up by 74%. 40% of teens in America have a mental health diagnosis. This has to stop and be reversed, or we will be the next extinct species. Fertility rates are actually declining yearly now. It's at a historic all-time low. But the good news is that it looks like some things are going to happen, that massive change is taking place, and that it's promising to clean up corruption and toxins and poisons in our food and our skincare and our household products. Thank God. I just pray it happens with ease and with efficiency. But I still haven't heard of anybody talking about cleaning up the nano and microplastics in our food and our skincare products. They're in everything from our mustard and ketchup and mayonnaise to meat and vegetables that are grown in our stressed out soils. They all contain microplastics, and they're in huge amounts in our bottled water and nearly everything we drink. Microplastics are even being found in the placentas of our babies. We are ingesting millions of plastic particles daily. What the heck do you think that's doing to our bodies? When you cut your finger and it bleeds, where do you think that blood is coming from? Not your arteries or your veins, or you could bleed to death instead of just scab over and heal like we do. Microcirculation makes up 70% of your circulatory system. Those vessels are so tiny that 100 of them could fit in something the size of a human hair, and there are around 10 billion of these in your body. What do you think microplastics are doing in these tiny micro vessels? They feed our organs and our cells with oxygen and nutrients. Over time, these microplastic particles build and build until they block these microcirculatory vessels of oxygen and nutrients and life force. So we can't think as clearly or see as clearly, hear as clearly. Our organs don't function as well until, who do you know that is actually really healthy today? What are we doing to our children, our grandchildren, our future? This downgrading of our health is on an exponential trajectory, and it has to be stopped now. I've been involved in natural health and energy medicine for more than 50 years. Only 5 years ago, I found an answer that has restored my health and the health of my precious family. I call it microcirculation nutrition. It's all about feeding our blood with the highest form of 100% plant molecular nutrition, nothing artificial or synthetic. So what happens when this revolutionary microcirculation nutrition enters our body? Our microcirculation relaxes, it opens up, it dilates, it accepts it, it welcomes it, so it can nourish our bodies to a whole new level. What do you think happens when low frequency toxins, chemicals, synthetics, plastic particles enter our body through our food and our skin? Our microcirculation contracts and constricts and tightens, and it stops the flow of energy, nutrition, oxygen, and life force itself. So here's the really good news. Thank God. I am so happy and grateful to be able to share with you something that I've been searching for, waiting for, praying for most of my life. And I'm 76, so that's a pretty long time. This microcirculation nutrition opens up the microcirculation and nourishes the body through 100% plant molecules and SSC, self-stem cell technology. When the circulation opens up, our miraculous bodies can clean those toxins, chemicals, and even microplastics. Even though they say that microplastics can't get out of our body, this will do it. So you want to see what this looks like? This is me 5 years ago, before microcirculation nutrition. I had been doing everything right. Well, I was in a wheelchair because of an accident, and I refused to have back surgery. I still have not had it. But I'm walking just fine because of microcirculation nutrition. I've been eating well. I ran a health clinic. I ran a yoga school. I mean, everything was really, really right, the best I could do. But we live in toxic soup. But look at me now. Look at me now. After using this microcirculation spray in my body to nourish my cells and clean out my system, and a cream on my skin that takes the place of absolutely everything else I had been using on my skin. Oh my gosh, this is the answer, and I am on a mission. I am on a mission to share this with everybody. Everybody needs this. We live in toxic soup. This is the answer that we've been praying for. This is the answer that you've been looking for you and your family's health. Please watch the evolution video next. It's 4 minutes. It can save your life. Blessings for the health of you and your family.